Good afternoon, sophomores. Wanted to make a quick video to explain to you your lab today since I'm not here to explain it to you in person. So today you're going to be using some toy cars and some tracks and kind of a plethora of my son's car toys to look at those ideas and those concepts behind speed, acceleration, and velocity that we're focusing on this week. So today's lab, you are going to be working with a group of your classmates. And every group's going to need a procedure document, and this one just tells you what needs to go in your notebook. So procedure-wise, you and your group are going to be designing an experiment to record the distance and the time it takes for cars to travel.
So I've decided that I'm going to change, the variable I'm going to change is the type of car I'm using. So I'm going to do this experiment one time with the blue car. I'm going to do 3 trials with the blue car, and then 3 more trials with the yellow car for my test 2. And what I'm going to be doing is I set up a track here. It's a 5-foot long track. And every time my car passes 1 foot, I'm going to take a time recording. So I'll take a time recording when it passes 1 feet, 2 feet, 3 feet, 4 feet, and 5 feet. And that's what goes in my data table. So for example, I'll start with the yellow car and I'll send it down the track. And I would record the time it takes to pass every foot. I decided I was going to change the type of car, but you could do type of car changing, or you could do the way your track looks. Like you could do 1 test with your track low and then 1 track with your ramp high. It's up to you and your group what you're testing, just as long as you're recording the time it takes to pass 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot, 4 foot. I'm going to go up to the whiteboard and show you what your data table should look like today. You're going to need to make 2 data tables today, depending on what your variable is. So my variable was the car. So my first data table is for car 1. On my left side, making the rows, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means the feet. So 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot. And then trial 1, 2, and 3. And then finally an average. So what I would do for my first trial is I would record, okay, it takes 0.5 seconds to get to 1 foot, 0.75, 1.3, 1.7, and 2.1 seconds. I'll write all the times in for my all 3 trials for my first car. I'll switch car and fill in my data table. After my data table's all filled in, I'm going to have the average velocity to calculate for test 1 and 2, and then the velocity between point C, B and C, and D and E, and these are for both trials. Finally, I'm going to create a graph, a distance versus time graph. So there's some graph paper on the front table, but what we're going to look at is we're going to make a line graph. Distance would be my y-axis and time would be my x-axis. And then there's one more question about acceleration if you get that far today. All of these questions and data should go into your notebook today. And finally, I just want to go through materials. So all the materials you can use are over here on this first table. So there's a bunch of car tracks for you to build. Some of the cars, though, aren't going to fit in the track, so you'll just have to use some of that wood over there by the safety shower. You can build yourself a ramp using books or chairs. And then here are all the options you have for vehicles. There's some semis and some Pappas. Whatever you want to use, you just need to choose 1 variable. These cars are all my son's cars. He was very worried about me bringing them to school, so please be respectful so that I don't have a sad kid with broken cars to take home to him later.
It's probably been a while since you played with cars, so have a productive day today, but have some fun and learn some science along the way. I will see you on Thursday. Bye.